Hello, good evening, everyone. I hope you get the sound in a good quality. Today I would like to read with you one or two verses from Genesis 2, and then we shall read like a part of it which is written. There is part of the Zohar that reads the text, and then Luria reads the Zohar about the text. So let's start reading. And if you have any questions so far or the sound does not come right or strong enough, please let us know. Genesis 2 verse 22. I shall start the Hebrew. ויבן השם אלוהים את הצלע אשר לקח מן האדם לאישה ויביאיה אל האדם. And the rib which the Lord God had taken from the man made he a woman and brought her unto the man. ויאמר האדם זאת הפעם עצם מעצמי ובשר מבשרי לזאת יקרא אישה כי מאיש לוקחה זאת. And the man said, This is now bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman because she was taken out of men. Now, let's see what Luria writes about it. This part that Luria now will interpret for us is taken from Sha'ar Ma'amarei Rashbi. This is the gate of Rabbi Shimon articles from the Zohar. Sha'ar Ma'amarei Rashbi, here. We have it here. Yes, this is it. Parashat Bereshit, portion Bereshit. So, let's see. וזה סוד פסוק, and this is the secret of the verse. ויאמר האדם, זאת הפעם עצם מעצמי. And this is the secret of the verse. And Adam said, this time, זאת הפעם, this time, זאת, this, הפעם, time. עצם מעצמי, a bone of my bones. ואמרו בספר התיקונים, and they said in a correction book, כי היו לו שתי נשים, that he had two wives. הראשונה עצם, the first wife was, we can say in Hebrew, עצם. The first wife was Etzem. Etzem in Hebrew has two meanings. One is a bone, and the second is essence. So Adam had two wives. היו לו שתי נשים, two wives. הראשונה, the first, עצם. Bone, essence, והשנית, and the second wife, בשר, flesh. Flesh. Dina Rafia. Dina in Aramaic, like in Hebrew din, it means judgment. Rafia, loose judgment. Not strong judgment, but loose or soft judgment. והעניין הוא, and the matter is, כי לאה יצתה מן העצם, because Leah came from the essence. From the bone, people might say, but from the essence, or from the noun. or from the nomenon. Dina Kashya. This is rough judgment. כי הרי נלקחה מן הצלע. Because she was taken from the side, from the rib. Because the rib or the side is a white matter. Yes? Because also we have not just, let's say, עצם ובשר, bone and flesh. Also we have here colors. Yes? Because the rib or the bone or the side is white. And later the flesh is red. So let's start again, understanding what does he say about Leah. כי לאה יצתה מן העצם, because Leah came out from the bone, from the essence, from the nomenon, דין הקשיא, rough judgment, כי הרי נלקחה מן הצלע, because she was taken from the side, from the rib, from the white matter. אשר שם מקום לאה כנודע, that there is the place of Leah as it is known. אבל רחל היא בשר, but Rachel is flesh. כי יצתה, let's move here, כי יצתה למטה מן החזה, because she came out, down from the chest, מהאורות המגולים, from the reveal lights. דינה רפיה, lose judgment. This is a term in Aramaic. Yes, דינה רפיה. דינה רפיה here, this is loose judgment. Here, we shall write it here. דינה רפיה, loose judgment. ולכן לזאת השנייה, and therefore to this, the second, ייקרא אישה, she shall be called the second. Yes? לזאת השנייה, to this, the second, she shall be called אישה, a woman, שהיא נמתקת, that it is being sweetened, because the judgment is loose, is not so strong, because it is revealed. אך הראשונה אינה אישה, but the first is not a woman, אלא מעורבת בקליפה, but it is mixed in the shell, in the external part, ואינה נמתקת, and she is not being sweetened. והיא לילית, and she is לילית, אימן של השדים, the mother of the demons. And here, this is not clear, this word is abbreviation of something, maybe afterwards, it might be afterwards. והנה אחר כך, and here also afterwards, נמתקה גם לאה. לאה has been also became sweetened. על ידי תפילותיה וגם דמעותיה. By her prayers and also her tears. כמו שכתוב, like it is written, חז"ל, our sages bless their names for good, שהייתה עתידה להיות בחלקו של עשיו. Leah supposed to be married to Esau. There were two brothers and two sisters. The elderly was the firstborn Esau. supposed to be married to the firstborn, Leah, and Jacob, the second, to Rachel. So the sages are saying that she's supposed to be married to Esau. Why? לפי שהיא לילית קדמאה, because this is a primal לילית, ועל ידי דמעותיה וזכיותיה, and by her tears and her righteousness, הוסר קליפתה מעליה, the shell was removed from her, ונשארה קדושה לבדה ממותקת, and she remained holy, alone, and sweetened, not rough judgment anymore. ואז יעקב, and then Jacob, שהוא אדם הראשון, which is first Adam, ותיקן גמור, and corrected his mistake, זכה, he had the righteousness, שיתוקנו שתי נשיו, that both his women will be corrected, ולקח שתיהן, and he took both of them. כדוגמת זר אנפין, like זר אנפין, the vav, the letter vav from the tetragrammaton. ובזה תבין, and in this you shall understand, עניין בכיית לאה, מה עניינה? The matter of Leah crying, what is the essence of crying? כמו שכתוב, like it is written, the sages, about the verse, ועיני לאה רכות, and the eyes of Leah are soft. This is the first reading of the text. If you have questions so far, if you want to say hello, you are most invited. We shall read again and we shall try to understand, and maybe we shall make a little sketch as well. Let's see. The question is, again, what is the meaning of Adam saying this time, hapa'am zot, zot hapa'am, this time, in English, but in Hebrew, zot hapa'am, etzem me'atzamai, a bone of my bone and a flesh of my flesh. Because if Adam says this time, this is a bone of my bone and flesh of my flesh, or essence of my essence and flesh of my flesh, what was the first time? Because if this time, what was before? This is the tricky part. So let's read again and try to understand what is written here. וזה סוד הפסוק. This is the secret of the verse. ויאמר האדם, and Adam said, זאת הפעם עצם מעצמי. This time it's a bone of my bones, or essence of my essence. ואמרו בספר התיקונים, and they said in the book of corrections, כי היו לו שתי נשים, that Adam had two wives. הראשונה, עצם. Adam had two wives. Let's make a little drawing here to explain it. He had two wives, Adam. עצם, essence, and basar, flesh. When he says here two wives, he means two aspects. Two aspect. The aspect of essence, as here, aspect, and the aspect here. So the wife, the first wife of Adam, and please pay attention how the text is fluid, how suddenly the text moves from Adam to Jacob, from essence, etzem, to Leah, from flesh to Rachel. All of this system is very, very flexible and fluid. Yes? Please, let's just write it. We shall notice the movement, the music here. There's Adam. And has two aspects. Essence, white bone, yes, and flesh, yes, red, white and red. Those, so to speak, two women or two perspectives. Woman is a perspective. And here. So there is Adam, and Adam has essence, and Adam has flesh. This is why the verse says, Zot ha'pa'am, or pa'am zot. Yes, there are two aspects for Adam. The essence of Adam, the nomenon, and the phenomenon. The unseen as being, and the visualized as seen, as flesh, as red. So we have Adam, and there's like a split. From Adam we have two things. Adam is the name, or shall we say a name? Yes, a name, or the word that goes for the essence, for humanity, and also for the figure, which is flesh. Yes, Adam is, because Adam goes not just for a name of a private person, Adam, it is for all humanity is Adam, the essence. Yes, so Adam is the essence, but Adam is also a flesh, a private person. There's a general, the essence is like general, the private. So this is the first stream of consciousness that Luria portrays in the text. But now there's a movement. Suddenly this Adam is liquid to become Jacob, and the essence and the flesh, the general and the private, also gets names. When? Adam equals Jacob. Adam equals Jacob. Yes, Adam. Yes. And Jacob has like two perspectives. The general is Leah. Private is Rachel. Or the essence and the flesh. The white and the red. This is the stream, yes, of the thought. Now let's go back to the text and see how does he continue with it. If you have questions or thoughts, please feel free to write in the text. There is a chat here, and if you wish to ask questions, go ahead. Whatever, just to say hello, yes. ואמרו בספר התיקונים, and they say in the book of correction, כי היו לו שתי נשים, he had two wives or two perspectives. הראשונה, the first, עצם, essence, והשנית, בשר, and the second, flesh, דינה רפיה, loose, judgment. So now we got another, or we receive another term. This is loose judgment. Where is it? The flesh is loose. Yes, it's soft. You could say loose or soft. The flesh is soft. Yes, where is it? Here. There's another term, soft or loose. Yes, not so strict. When the bone is hard, in Hebrew, dinakashia, rough judgment, because the bone is strong, something solid, and dinarafia, like loose or soft, rafia, soft and hard. The bone is strong, is solid, and the flesh, the red, is not that hard. והעניין הוא, and the matter is, or the topic, כי לאה יצאה מן העצם. Leah came from the bone, or from the essence. Leah came from the essence, from the nomenon. Dinakashia, this is a rough judgment, this is a rough thing to come from the essence. The bone or the essence is solid, is inseparable, something that you cannot break into pieces, you cannot separate, you cannot cut. One thing. כי הרי נלקחה מן הצלע, because she was taken from the rib. Because please pay attention to the text again. Let's go to those two verses. There is, so to speak, an operation, but there is a process of thinking more than anything else. 22. ויבן השם אלוהים, and Lord God build את הצלע. He builds the rib, צלע, rib. That he took from Adam to be a woman, and he brought her in front of Adam. And to the rib from which a woman was built, Adam says, Zot apam etzem me'atzamai. The rib he calls a bone. Yes, the rib, suddenly, which was taken from the side, because tzela in Hebrew is not just a rib that we have here around the lungs, yes, it's also the side. If there is a triangle, yes, each one of those lines, tzela. 1 second. Tzela, 1 second. Yes, if this is a triangle, this one is called tzela, side. So, God took the tzela, the rib, the side, built from it a woman, bring it in front of man, in front of Adam. And Adam says, this time, this is a bone of my bones. So the rib, please pay attention, the rib becomes a bone. He says, Zot apam etzem me'atzamai uvasar mibsari. So the rib, since this, it's not written here, but this is between the lines. The rib has a double aspect. The rib, in a way, implies to the bone or to the essence, which is white. But there is another verse that says that God clothes, instead of the cutting of the rib, he cut Vaisgor basar tachtena, and instead of, he took the rib, but instead of it, there's a flesh. So the rib is a place of two things, of the bone, of the essence, and of the flesh. This is why in verse 23 we find in a way two terms. Etzem, bone, essence, and flesh. Both are coming from the rib. Tzela, yes. And here we have the idea of two women to Adam, or two wives for Jacob, when here it doesn't say the whole structure, but we can write it here. Adam, yes, as Adam, here the pen, Adam, has, the first is Lilith, yes, and the second is Eve, Chava. He doesn't say, he speaks here only about Lilith, but in the text we shall read that Hapa'am zot, this is Chava, this is Eve. Yes. So Adam has two perspectives. One is Lilith, This is the bone, the white. Rough judgment, because it's a strong matter. And Eve. Eve is the flesh and red. So far, this is clear. Would you like to say something? Hello, Daniel. Hello. Sela, yes, very good. This is what Luria will say later. There's a Tsela and there's a Sela. Very good, Daniel. There's a Sela, which is a rock, and there's a Tsela, yes, and in Luria's writing, the Tsela with Tzadik, the side or the rib, is associated with Leah, and the rock Sela is associated with Rachel. Very good distinction. Thank you for writing. I appreciate this a lot. So, Adam had two perspectives. Lilith, which is the bone, the essence, and Eve, the flesh. Let's continue to read the text and see how Luria binds all of this together. But please pay attention how everything is like in poetry. This is interesting. This is non-linear writing because everything moves. Everything here is liquid. והעניין הוא, and the matter is, כי לאה יצתה מן העצם, because Leah came out from the bone. Dina Kashya, strong judgment or rough matter, כי הרי נלקחה מן הצלע, because she was taken from the rib, from the side. אשר שם מקום לאה כנודע. The rib in the human body, צלע, צלעות, the rib, yes, protecting the lungs. This is considered also in the human body to be a hidden place. Yes? Because Leah, in a way, already here, he makes, a forward. Leah came from the secret. Because the rib it's not something which is revealed. אבל רחל היא בשר, but Rachel is a flesh, כי יצתה למטה מן החזה, because Rachel came under the chest. So here we have, in a way, a division, and I would like us to attend this. There is a chest, and the chest, above the chest, the lights are concealed. This is Leah. And under the chest, the lights are revealed. And this is what, in a way, the book of Zohar and Luria will, will write a lot. This is the perspective, revealed and concealed. When the chest, in a way, is the watershed, above is concealed. Chasadim mechusim, they call it in the book of Zohar, when the grace is concealed, or ohel, or the tent, or Leah, because Leah is the same letters as ohel, tent. Everything is there in hidden, in secrecy. Yes. So we have chasadim mechusim, like grace which is concealed, or the opposite, orot megulim, revealed lights. Yes, this is Rachel, or the flesh. We say flesh news. What is a flesh news? Papam, now we're gonna tell you A, B, C, D, a lot of light. Yes, this is the side of Rachel, the essence of Rachel. So, אבל רחל היא בשר, but Rachel is flesh, כי יצתה למטה מן החזה, because she came out under the chest. The chest is not just in a human body. The word chest, as we translate it to English, it's not a biology, or how do you say, medicine school. We don't learn about the human body, the physical. Chazeh, chest, comes from to see. Yes, chazeh, chest in English comes from chazeh, to see, like Ezekiel, Yechezkel. It's something that we see. Chazon is a vision, something that we can see. So the chest, in a way, not in English but in Hebrew, is a place of, it's like a watershed, what we can see and what we cannot see. And Rachel, since she is a flesh, she came under the chest from the revealed lights, which are called Dina Rafia, loose judgment. ולכן לזאת השנייה, to this second, יקרא אישה. She will called a woman, not in English, but in Hebrew. Isha, שהיא נמתקת, she is sweetened. This is sweet fire. I would like to explain. This is not just woman in English. It's not a biological woman, which the text speaks about. What is it about? Ish is a man. If we open a dictionary, we shall find it. But what is a man in Hebrew, Ish? It comes from Esh. Esh is fire. 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 With additional letter Yod, the covenant. Yes? So what? Excuse me. So what is man in Hebrew? It means fire, strong fire, solid fire, inseparable fire. Ish, inseparable fire. But now, after God brings the new creation, so to speak, he says, to this we shall call a woman. Why? She has the same features, not features, but essence of man. She has the same letters, Aleph and Shin. She has Ish, but she is sweetened. What does it mean, sweetened? Not just the Yod, like in a man, inseparable fire, a fire like a nuclear reactor. Yes, destructive fire. destructive fire. She is sweetened because she has the hay. Isha, not a woman in English, but Isha. This is Esh, but sweetened. Sweetened fire, contained fire, control fire. Fire that can warm the food or the water for shower, but not burn the whole universe. This is why he says here, sweeten fire, tamed fire. Cannot harm as the fire of men. Ish, please pay attention that many times when we read the Bible in English, we just flow running on the words, also in Hebrew because it's a spoken language as well. So ish, man, no. There are words that, all of the Bible, yes, to pay attention when the Bible uses ish. And let's say when Jacob has the struggle in the river of Yabok, the Bible says, Vayavek ish imo, and a man, we say in English, but in Hebrew, ish, this is strong fire. Yes, inseparable fire was struggling with him. Okay, they say, interpreters of the Bible, this is the minister of Esau, angel Gabriel, inseparable fire, destructive fire. But Isha is a sweetened fire, meaning it cannot harm. It can only do good. Why? Because the letter He has 3 dimensions. Yes? Horizontal, vertical, and depth. Like a triangle, it cannot harm. It's a vessel. Not just in the word Ish, man, there's only Yod, there's only light, the fire, but there's no vessel to hold this. Yes? But in the word woman, there's a vessel, it's a tamed fire, sweetened fire, it cannot harm. This is why he says that now it is sweetened. This is why he called her Isha, sweet fire, good fire, beneficial fire, not destructive fire that the man has. If you have some questions, I'm looking here at the text. If you have something to say, go ahead, feel free. אך הראשונה אינה אישה, but the first is not isha, is not woman in English. Please pay attention. But the first is not sweetened fire. Let's call it like this. This is more accurate. If we would translate it mechanically, we would say this is not a woman. No. And here is the attention. But the first is not sweetened fire. Here we have Isha. Let's mark it. The first is not sweet or sweetened fire. But it is mixed with a shell. ואינה נמתקת. And it is not sweet or sweetened. והיא לילית. אימן של השדים. The mother of, how shall we say, demons. והנה, and here, אחר כך, afterwards, נמתקה גם לאה. Also, Leah was sweetened. Please pay attention how Luria moves without noticing. But later, afterwards, Leah was sweetened. Also sweetened. He was speaking about Lilith. How does he move suddenly to Leah? And we have the lamed, the sound of L, which is mutual. Let's see how does it go. He says that Lilith has shells. Lilith, according to his understanding, is not equal, but is not sweet fire. Is not Isha, is not sweet fire. Why she is not sweet fire? Because she has shells. And hear how he moves without noticing. But he says, Leah, please pay attention how he moved to Leah. And says, Leah is already sweetened. Yes? You remember the sketch? So what do we have here? I will summarize already now before we shall go back to the text. It means basically, and soon I would like to seal this conversation. What does he say here? Something very simple. That, how shall I write it to you? Adam had two perspectives, Lilith, yes, and Eve. Later on, this system, the same system, few generations later, held different names. Adam became Jacob. Jacob is a corrected version of Adam, and he has two perspectives, Leah and Rachel. When Leah is already, can be called Isha, sweet fire, because she was sweetened by her tears. Yes, and also Rachel is sweetened fire. Leah is white, or the bone. Rachel is red, or the flesh. But afterwards, Leah was sweetened too by her prayers and also her tears. As it is written, when the sages, it is written in the sages that she is supposed to be part of Esau because Lefi shehi Lilith kadma'a. She's supposed to be married to Esau because, according to the sages, she is primal Lilith, as we just wrote. ועל ידי דמעותיה, and by her tears, וזכיותיה, and her righteousness, הוסר קליפתה מעליה. Her shell was removed from her. ונשארה קדושה לבדה וממותקת. And she remained holy by herself, sweetened. All the judgment were removed from her by what she was crying. And she was crying, and all the judgment, the rough fire, the unsweetened fire, came with a crying. And she used to cry many, many years not to be wed to Esau. So she used to go to the road, to the junctions, and to weep. Yes, she used to go out of her house to the road and to cry, to weep on the road. And the tears and her prayers that she shed shed, sweeten the great fire of judgment, and she became sweetened. And she, in a way, this is a correction of Lilith in Leah. ואז יעקב, שהוא אדם הראשון, and then Jacob, שהוא אדם הראשון, first man, ותיקן פגמו, and Jacob corrected Adam and his, let's say, mistake. זכה, he had the righteousness, שיתוקנו שתי נשיו, that both of his wife could be corrected, ולקח שתיהן, and he took them both, כדוגמת זעיר אנפין, like זעיר אנפין, like the vav of the tetragrammaton. ובזה תבין עניין בחיית לאה, and in this you shall understand the matter of Leah crying, what is the whole essence of her crying. כמו שכתוב, like it is written, the sages are writing about the verse, ועיני לאה רכות, and the eyes of Leah are soft, yes, soft. Remember, at the beginning she had rough judgment, קשה, rough, and now soft. After the crying, judgment has been removed. The eyes are soft, from white to red. It's a beautiful text. I was looking for a long time. I had a verse from Genesis, but I was looking for something very sensitive that can explain all of this. I hope you find it interesting as much as I do, and please feel free to ask or to say anything that you like. Thank you so much for joining us today. Here is a beautiful painting. Yes. Here. Creation, yes. From the side. This is basically the presence. The presence. So I would like to wish each and every one of you a very beautiful and wonderful week. Thank you so much, and shalom, shalom.